Supreme Court nominee Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu is advocating for pro bono services by lawyers to be made compulsory requirement for renewal of licenses of lawyers at the Ghana Bar Association. This was after Medina MP Francis Sosu asked for his opinion on the matter.
Two of President Akufo-Addo's Supreme Court nominees today appear before the Appointment Committee of Parliament, chaired by First Deputy Speaker Joe Osei-Wusu for vetting. First was Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu was quick to ask the nominee about his view on recent judgments from the Supreme Court on the standing orders of Parliament and whether it can interfere in the affairs of Parliament. Justice Asiedu said the Supreme Court by law has the power to interpret the Constitution, including laws that affect Parliament.
If it is a pronouncement by the Supreme Court, then that is the position of the law. And I cannot sit here and pretend to review the judgment of the Supreme Court. I can't do that.
Subject to the provision of this Constitution, Parliament may, by standing orders, regulate its own procedure. What's your understanding of this provision in the Constitution vis-a-vis the comment you just made? Thank you, Chair.
Now, what that provision means is that if, in fact, and generally speaking, Parliament is a master of its own procedure. However, if there is something under the Constitution, if there is a provision under the Constitution which does not permit that mastery, then, notwithstanding the fact that Parliament is a master of its own procedure, Parliament shall submit or shall be subservient to that provision in the Constitution.
The nominee was asked to explain what he will do if his faith conflicts with the laws of Ghana. Justice Adibu Asiedu said he is in court to administer laws as a judge, not his faith. He added that his judicial philosophy is to bear the true faith and allegiance to the Constitution.
As far as his work as a judge is concerned, it is the law that takes precedence.
And then you go home and sleep with the faith and your God.
Well, because you are not, thank you in a way, you are not in the court to administer your faith. You are there to administer justice, and the roadway is the law.
Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu also wants pro bono services by lawyers to be made compulsory requirement for the renewal of licenses of lawyers at the Ghana Bar Association.
Legal aid or pro bono services should be considered as part of requirement for renewal of solicitors' licenses annually as a way of compelling every lawyer to do at least some pro bono cases in every year.
That yes, I share the same view, and I also recognize the pro bono service which you yourself have rendered over the years.
Let's have a conversation on the back of this, and I've been joined by the PRO of the Ghana Bar Association, Lawyer Xavier Kuje. Lawyer, good evening. Welcome to the show. So what's your opinion on making pro bono a compulsory requirement?
I don't think I disagree with that. I disagree with that in the sense that pro bono services are supposed to be voluntary. I am wondering how we're going to make something that is voluntary mandatory. Because if you're making it mandatory, it becomes the opposite of voluntary. But pro bono services are for the public good. We are all for it, and we are already doing it. But to make it a requirement for renewing solicitor's license, I disagree with that. This matter came up sometime last 2 weeks, and I was on a sister TV station. The question I posed was this. If we are to make pro bono services as a requirement for practicing license, how do you treat lawyers in corporate institutions who have a contract with their institutions only to work for those institutions? That will create a problem. The only way we can make it work is for us to go to conference, for every lawyer or majority of lawyers to vote to say that we have all agreed to make it compulsory as a requirement for renewing our practicing licenses. Other than that, I don't think that it is the proper thing to do to say that something that is supposed to be voluntary, you want to make it compulsory. Right. How would that happen?
Lawyer Kuje, at this point, what will the GBA members lose if the pro bono is made compulsory for license renewal?
Understand me, I am not saying that it is not possible, but what I'm saying is that it is the individual's right to do a voluntary work. It is free will. How then do you compel somebody to do that? You can only do that in agreement with the person. That is why I said, if that is the way we should go, the only way we can do it is to go to conference for a resolution to be passed. That the fact that from now onwards or from that date onwards, pro bono services which are supposed to be voluntary are going to be compulsory.
Right, but as it stands
because
now,
we cannot sit down as DBA executives and say that we're going to make it compulsory, something that is supposed to be voluntary. How do you compel somebody to do something that he's supposed to be willingly do?
right. That means as it stands now, the Ghana Bar Association is against making pro bono compulsory, correct?
Yes, because you're already doing pro bono a lot more. You see, the problem comes from this. People are relying on the scanty data from the Legal Aid Commission. Only few lawyers go there to take cases. Many more lawyers are doing things free. Free. Even if I give a client a court process to go and file, I have done free service because the filing fee is not supposed to be for me. It's meant for the court. Once I haven't charged, you have done free work. And many more lawyers are even undercharging because we have a scale of fees. A lot of lawyers are undercharging because many people cannot even afford that. So let us look at it. Yes, make it compulsory. I am saying it is not far-fetched. It's a good proposal, but we can't compel anybody without the individuals agreeing that they have agreed to make it compulsory. No.
Right. Lawyer Kuje, thank you very much for your time this evening. He is the PRO of the Ghana Bar Association.